All right, man. Brady's comeback was definitely the story of the afternoon on Sunday, but I'm excited to hear about you tell me about Patrick Mahomes being
Oh, so
player
we're
of the
not starting with Brady. Oh, we're
yes.
starting with the Chiefs. Okay, go ahead.
Excited to hear about you telling me about Mahomes, the big winner of Sunday when it took him overtime to beat a Ryan Tannehill-less Titans team.
Okay, and they
They
won
were
5 in a
favored
row. They'd won 5
favored
in a row. Let's just everyone. This is what's going to happen today. You know what? Go ahead. Ask your question.
won 5 in a row, but I mean, they
Mhm.
were also 12.5 point favorites at
Mhm.
home.
Mhm.
So, luckily, primetime Pat did just enough to, muster to win the game in overtime.
Yeah.
Are you seriously gonna be popping champagne and all willy-nilly about Patrick Mahomes winning this game in overtime?
Okay, survive in advance, first of all. Second of all, this is what is going to happen today because this is what has happened ever since Mahomes burst onto the scene his first year as a starter and threw 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and was the league MVP and was a coin flip in overtime away from winning the Super Bowl his first year. And then the very next year did win the Super Bowl. We have changed the rules for the Chiefs and for Mahomes. And so all of a sudden, a Titans team that here's their last 3 years. 2 years ago, they're in the AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Last year, they are the 1 seed in the AFC. This year, going into this game, they are the hottest team in the AFC. They had won 5 in a row, and they were the leaders. They still are leaders in their division. Now they suck. Now it's like, oh boy, how much credit do you really get
I don't know if
for
it's
beating the lowly Tennessee Titans? Oh, should it even count as a win? Because it was a hard, gutty victory. And so here's the thing. That's what all the shows are going to do. I already know it. I'm fine with it. The Chiefs are judged on the KD Warrior standard, which is winning is not enough. You have to win with style points. You have to blow everybody out. I get that. So let's instead talk about why the Chiefs won. The Chiefs won because Patrick Mahomes had a game no one in the history of the league has ever had. 400 yards passing, 50 yards rushing, plus a rushing touchdown, plus a passing touchdown. And we don't have the ability to show you guys the NFL video highlights on the podcast. But it was very apropos that Patrick Mahomes beat the Tennessee Titans with his legs because it was against the Tennessee Titans that Patrick Mahomes had arguably the single most important plus greatest run by any quarterback in NFL history. Oh, Nick, that's hyperbolic. Well, I don't know. It was right before halftime of an AFC championship game when the Chiefs hadn't been to a Super Bowl in 50 years. The Chiefs were trailing, and Patrick Mahomes had a 30-plus yard scamper where he made 5 Titans defenders miss to give the Chiefs the lead going into halftime, and they never looked back. That was 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Now, what do we have? We have a 3rd and 17 with the Chiefs not having scored in 2 hours, and Mahomes runs for 20. And then a 3rd and 9 where Mahomes runs for the touchdown. And a 2-point conversion where Mahomes runs and gets the corner. Everyone gives, oh my goodness, Josh Allen. The reason he's quarterback 1, as my pal Adam Shine would say, is because of what he does with his legs too. He might be a more bruising runner. He might be a more frequent runner. No quarterback in the league is a more effective runner. When Mahomes runs, how fast is he? As they say, fast enough.
okay.
Faster than the guy chasing him. So was that a tour de force by the Chiefs offense? No. Somehow did Mahomes still have over 500 yards of offense? Yes. Did they find a way to win? Absolutely. Do they now have, thanks to the Bills gagging, and we'll talk more about them in a moment, are they tied for the best record in the conference? They are. Are they tied for the best record in the conference, despite the fact that they had an opening 8 games that were, according to the data, the toughest opening 8 weeks of any team in NFL history? The first team in NFL history to start their season with 8 consecutive games against teams that were at or above 500 the previous year. 8 games in a row against teams that either made the playoffs or were a loss in week 18 last year away from making the playoffs. So the Cardinals made the playoffs last year. They kicked their ass. The Chargers lost in week 18 last year. That's why they missed. They beat them. The Colts made the playoffs last year. The Chiefs gave that game away. The Bucks made the playoffs last year. The Chiefs kicked their ass. The Raiders made the playoffs last year. The Chiefs came back from 17 down. The Bills made the playoffs last year. Chiefs lost that game. The Niners made the NFC Championship game last year. The Chiefs kicked their ass. And the Titans made the playoffs last year as the 1 seed. The Chiefs just beat them. They have played 8 games. They're 6-2 in their 2 losses. They were leading them both with 1:10 left. And now, oh boy, now the soft part of the schedule comes. Home for the prince that was promised. That's not easy, but still,
Yeah.
home for the Jags. At the Chargers, that's the toughest game left on their schedule. They've already beaten them. Home for the Rams. The Rams are a train wreck. At Cincinnati, that's their second toughest game left. Then at Denver, at the Texans, home for Seattle. That's kind of tough. Home for the Broncos, at the lowly Raiders. Ooh, boy.
Cincinnati's our second toughest game after the Chargers?
Well, the Chargers and Bengals are the 2 toughest games left. You think Cincinnati's tougher than the Chargers?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess, Cincinnati might be tougher. The Chargers game is way more important because you beat the Chargers 5-3.
Right.
Chargers only game back in the division. But if you beat them and you sweep them, you basically lock up the division 2 weeks in.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.